This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
A growing scam that offers you easy money. I'm Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny with how you can spot a fake company.
A break in the case, 28 charges in all. Why an Indiana judge is facing possible conviction along with 2 other suspects accused in this parking lot fight last month.
As a newsman, I get a unique opportunity to see both the best and the worst in the world.
And for more than 40 years, DERRIK Thomas has brought it all to you on RTV6. Tonight, we celebrate a storyteller and say goodbye as he signs off for the last time. Good evening, I'm Mark Mullins for the news, Channel 6. It's summer, and for many of us, that means time to travel with our loved ones. But Call 6 Investigates has uncovered a growing scam that can trick you into losing thousands of dollars. Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny joining us here in studio with a story you'll see only on RTV6. So, Kara, how does this scam work?
Here's how it works. You get a phone call from a company that says they want to buy your timeshare, and they offer you quick money. Sounds great, right? It's what they ask you to do to get that money that has the Better Business Bureau issuing a warning tonight. Jenny Ali of Cloverdale has owned a timeshare in Branson, Missouri for 4 years.
We just don't use it that much. And I will say that timeshares are very expensive.
So Jenny went online to research how to sell it, and soon after got a phone call.
We would love to sell your timeshare. We have people waiting in line to buy this.
Jenny researched and learned it was a legitimate company. So when they asked her to wire advertising and legal fees to their Florida location, she did it. When the timeshare company said they found a buyer, they asked her to wire a deposit, which she'd get back within 7 days.
They were very convincing. They gave me a security code so that when I called in, I had to use the specific code.
Jenny never got her refund. And when she tried to reach them,
so they blocked me completely, and I couldn't even reach them at that point.
Turns out the timeshare company was an imposter, a fake, a phony. You're out how much money?
In all, I'm out $4,100.
Jenny filed a complaint with the Better Business Bureau. CEO Tim Maniscalco says it's a growing scam.
And there's so many timeshares out there that you can actually rent kind of without owning it for much less than it costs you to do the maintenance fees, those types of things. So it's really an overbuilt market at this point.
It's such a concern the BBB launched an investigation and found bogus companies claiming to operate in central Indiana. D&W International Closing says they're a closing company located in downtown Indianapolis. But when we stopped by, they're not in here. They don't exist.
They were purporting to buy timeshares from people, but it really wasn't a legitimate business.
The BBB's investigation found the timeshare scam has happened in at least 7 states, costing consumers more than $242,000.
They were very professional and very legal, even though they were illegal.
Jenny wants to start a ripple effect and help others avoid falling victim. What do you want people to know?
I want people to know to be very skeptical and do your research. And again, I did do my research and I still got it.
And Mark, scammers are using many different names, even the names of legitimate businesses, so it can be very tricky to tell.
With everything looking so convincing these days, how do you spot the fake?
Well, you have to look for the red flags. Consider it a red flag if they ask for fees up front or if they ask you to wire money. Make sure to research potential buyers and closing agents with the Better Business Bureau. You can also call your resort or organization that sold you the timeshare to see what they know of the company. And one of the worst parts about all of this, there's not much the Better Business Bureau and law enforcement can do because most of these scams originate overseas. I'm Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny for the news, Channel 6.
Kara, thank you. Tonight, we are seeing local nurses in real-life training for when emergencies happen during delivery. As RTV6's Stephanie Wade reports, this training is crucial to saving pregnant moms and their babies.
Registered nurses are learning what to do when emergencies arise. The goal here is to reduce the state's high infant and maternal mortality rates.
Does she have a pulse? No pulse. All right, let's start chest compressions.
As realistic as possible. That's what they strive for here at Franciscan Health's Simulation Center in Greenwood. They run through scenarios and crises of what can happen during delivery.
It looks like mom coded. She lost some blood. He came out pale.
The simulation goes so far as to deliver a little mannequin baby that can breathe and cry too. They tended to the newborn who had issues of his own. Why this is so important is because Indiana ranks 43rd in infant mortality and even worse, 46th in maternal mortality. That's double the national average. The simulation coordinator says there are a host of factors contributing to why we're losing so many mothers and babies.
Women are waiting until they are older to have babies. The opioid epidemic is a piece of that, and then the obesity crisis.
Plus, more women are using artificial technology to become pregnant than in the past. But with programs like these, they are arming their staff with the skills to prevent any baby or any mother from dying on their watch. I'm Stephanie Wade for the news, Channel 6.
To learn more about this training, email us at workingforyou@rtv6.com. New developments in the case involving 2 judges and 2 men involved in a fight and shooting outside of a fast food restaurant near Lucas Oil Stadium. RTV6's Rafael Sanchez joins us now with the latest on this, Raf.
Mark, good evening. Judge Andrew Adams from Clark County is facing numerous criminal charges for his connection to that fight outside the White Castle in the downtown Indianapolis area. Judge Adams is not the only one facing legal troubles. Criminal charges were also filed against 2 other men, Brandon Kaiser and Alfredo Vasquez. The 3 are expected to surrender to police for their involvement in a fight and shooting at that White Castle on May the 1st. The prosecutor's office called on 2 grand juries to review this case because, in his word, it was a complicated case.
The individuals who were involved are obviously sitting judges, they're fellow lawyers, but Chief Bill is exactly right. If we look at any situation, we have to view it just like we would every single situation if we're doing our job appropriately.
We should point out that the Marion County Grand Jury declined to file charges against Clark County Judge Bradley Jacobs, who was there that evening. As for Judge Adams, the Indiana Commission on Judicial Qualifications has moved to remove Adams from the bench with pay pending the outcome of the case. Rafael Sanchez for the news, Channel 6.
Let's get your Storm Team 6 forecast now. It is Friday, and we are on the edge of the weekend, and we are enjoying sunny skies as we get a live look at the White River there. Tonight, Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is tracking chances of rain and storms over the weekend. Kevin?
The chance is low. That's the good news. Chance for rain is low. Temperatures and humidity high. I don't know if you like that trade-off, but high pressure sits off to the southeast, and that will continue to pump unusual, or I guess it's somewhat usual, warmth our way. Certainly not record warmth. Well, this is well known. Temperatures will hover right around 90 degrees for the next several days. Probably no change in that until the middle of next week. Then when the temperature comes down, we'll trade off and the rain chances will come up. We're in a beautiful Friday evening here, a little warm, but it's dry. The thunderstorms that were sitting to our west have all but faded. There's a few around St. Louis. We're not expecting any rain in central Indiana. Kokomo, Marion, both at 91. We'll throw in Frankfort at 91 as well. A little warmer to the south. Bedford's at 92 degrees. Between now and 11, temperatures cool off a little, certainly not a lot. It will still be 77 at 11.
Coming up now on the news at 6, honing in on young adults to get them engaged in work and education again. How these power huddles are making new connections ahead in RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers. And as we celebrate and say goodbye to an RTV6 icon tonight, we're hearing from other longtime storytellers about what it's been like to work with DERRIK Thomas.
I say he's a true reporter. He's a reporter's reporter. And by that I mean he's a journalist through and through. He never takes shortcuts. He goes right for the truth, just as he sees it. And then he's got the rarest ability, I think, nowadays especially. He's a wordsmith. He always leaves with something at the end of his piece that ties it all up, that has that distinctive, right before he says, DERRIK Thomas, WRTV6 News.
Yes, you did. In Indianapolis, DERRIK Thomas, 6 News.
Low mileage lease on the 2019 Ram 1500. This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers is an initiative aimed at connecting you to the tools and resources you need to take the next step in your education and career goals. The Pivot Re-Engagement Center on the Far East Side is targeting young adults that are disengaged from school or the workforce and attempt to work with them through different available resources. The Power Huddle is preparing young adults to connect skills with passions and workforce needs. Tamia Lewis is finishing up her week-long Power Huddle course at the Pivot Re-Engagement Center, located at the Finish Line Boys and Girls Club on the Far East Side. She says it's been invaluable to her life.
They have definitely taught me who I am. I'm an orange person, but they taught me that, you know, sometimes you just got to dig deeper to figure out why you're stuck where you are and learn how to get out of that pit.
This 5-day course is here because of a partnership between Employee Indy, Finish Line Boys and Girls Club, and the Community Alliance of the Far East Side. For more information on how to get involved, head to our story on hiringhoosiers.com. Part of RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers is connecting you with opportunities, so here's a huge chance for you to pitch your great idea to Shark Tank. Producers are looking for the next big innovation. They're holding an open call on July 16th at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Doors open at 6 a.m. We have all the information that you need at theindychannel.com.
It is 6:12 on a warm Friday, and it will get warmer as we go into the weekend. I'm a little nervous because I know you've tuned in because this is Derrik's big moment. And Derrik Thomas is in my peripheral vision now. Derrik, come on over here for a second. Join me for a second. Oh, his mic is on already. I had no idea. I'm glad you reacted.
I haven't turned it on.
No, it is on. It is on. That's why I'm glad you reacted so pleasantly. So are you nice and relaxed about this?
Fear and trepidation.
You know what's unique? The reason why, here, we got to face it. The reason why I brought Derrik out here for a second is what is really weird in our business, because you're reporting, you're out in the field. We're rarely together in the studio. I can think of only one other time that you and I have been on the air together like this. Do you remember?
You dragged me out there.
Well, he was stuck on that side of the studio and couldn't make it across, and so I brought you in. But I wanted to break the ice here before we have the big story coming your way.
Yeah, the clock is going tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, but Derrik's pace has never changed over the decades. You're nice and calm. I've only got a minute left now. So don't worry. All right. So,
can I go away? No?
Well, just step to the side. You don't need to go away. Okay. We need you again. All right, temperatures in the 90-degree range here right on through the weekend, and that will include heat index values that by Monday will climb to 97, so pushing the triple-digit mark. They're your consistent heat index values, as heat and humidity, really the combination. It's not so much that the actual high temperature will become that uncomfortable. Dry in Indiana, fading thunderstorms over Illinois. Temperatures right now, when you factor in the heat index, are in the low 90s in many spots. All the record temperatures above 100. Look, we don't cool off much at night. Temperatures around 70. There's your weekend forecast. I'll mention after 1 o'clock on Sunday, thunderstorm chances will increase modestly. The best chance or most likely time for thunderstorms will be in the middle of next week, as thunderstorm will build to the west and then move into central Indiana.
All right, so it's almost time for the final curtain here, as we said. Straight ahead here on the news at 6. Over 4 decades of unique storytelling from an RTV6 legend. We bring our celebration of excellence to a head with our tribute to RTV6's Derrik Thomas. He joins us here in studio with a message for you as well. That's all ahead right here on RTV6.
Dodge Jeep Ram.
The only name you need to know.
The most important thing that I think any of us who have been reporters or anchors is that we have one thing above all else that's the most important, and that's credibility. You earn credibility. You can't make it up. It takes time. And there's something in us beyond that. Fire in our belly, an awareness of what's going on, understanding something about a story that nobody else is picking up on. And when you can parlay that credibility into your stories, then I believe you are a Derrik Thomas. You are at the top of your game. And that's what Derrik has been. And we're going to miss him.
At the top of his game, and we are going to miss him. Tonight on RTV6, our Rafael Sanchez joins us as we continue our celebration of excellence in journalism.
What a career, right,
Isn't
Mark?
that something?
What a career.
Yes.
Mark, as you know, today our colleague Derrik Thomas is signing off after more than 40 years, 2 months, 115 days. And on this 15th day, it was also full of excellence. So right now, let's take a look at Derrik's distinguished career, which began right here on RTV6 on April the 3rd, 1979.
As a newsman, I get a unique opportunity to see both the best and the worst in the world.
DERRIK Thomas tells it like it is.
Give us jobs, or we'll be pulling jobs.
A storyteller with curiosity for information, passionate about informing others.
I have done about 12,000 stories in that 40 years. I just feel when you have put together that body of work and getting a chance to go the places that I've gone and meet the people that I've met, tell their stories, you just reflect and say, I must have been doing some things right.
The completion date is still scheduled for July 1984.
Over 40 years, he's breathed life into a kaleidoscope of words.
And that's the way the ball bounces. And they're going to get the gas while the getting is good. And in the words of Porky Pig, that's all, folks.
This is a story about a trampoline and a missing fence.
Showcasing all the shades of the human spirit, whether in times of pain, perseverance, or in the pursuit of happiness, he's always asking questions.
And how old are you?
52.
And this is your only way of friending, too.
A gentleman's not supposed to ask a lady your age.
I'm not a gentleman, I'm a reporter.
I love that. I'm not a gentleman, I'm a reporter.
Leaving a reporting job in Minneapolis, DERRIK began his career at RTV6 in 1979.
DERRIK Thomas for the news, Channel 6.
I haven't said that in over 25 years. Rarely does a day go by that somebody doesn't say to me, for the news, DERRIK Thomas.
DERRIK Thomas for the news, Channel 6.
His collection of stories is wide-ranging, from interviewing Michael Jackson in 1979.
How does it feel to be back in Indiana?
God, it's wonderful. This is our home.
To this story in 1981, involving the plight of Vietnam veterans looking for work in Indianapolis. His profile of the men led to results.
After I aired this story, people called the station and they said that they would give this gentleman a job. And they gave him a job. I told him about that and he was so grateful. And I felt that putting his story out on the airwaves is what we should do as journalists.
In 2015, DERRIK told the story of Doris Martin, who died while attempting to clear a drainage ditch in Pittsburgh. Doris loved to bake, and DERRIK provided his tender touch to capture the essence of a woman admired by many.
Martin made the best cinnamon rolls on earth and often shared them with students at school. We now know what will be on the menu in heaven. DERRIK Thomas, RTV6.
It's his calm cadence and cool character that draws praise from the public and his co-workers, past and present.
DERRIK would always take the newspaper to lunch. And even if you were with him, and he would read the newspaper. And I used to just bust him all the time for that, about DERRIK. Really? He's funny. He's so smart.
So when I say the words DERRIK Thomas, you say what?
Professional. Above all else, professional.
We'll miss him. There's not the like of him, I don't think, ever in this city.
And then it was over. The teepee, restaurant, a bridge with a pass, now a bridge over troubled waters.
The decades rolled on, with change being a constant. But DERRIK Thomas remains consistent. He's always been a man of his word. Many words, some big, some small, each carefully measured, each multifaceted, like the man who brought them to life. So I thank you for being you, and I thank you for being in our newsroom. Derrick Thomas joins us again. He almost did weather a few moments ago. He wishes to share his closing thoughts on this bittersweet day in which he marks such a milestone. Derrick?
It's been a wonderful ride here at Channel 6. I'm pleased to have had the opportunity to be here. If it wasn't for Dave Garlock, a photographer who had my story on his tape, I might not be here. I might be in Milwaukee because they offered me a job and I was just about to accept it. So I'm excited about that.
Well, I'm glad you didn't go to Milwaukee. I'm glad you stayed with us for 40 years, 2 months and 15 days.
And I'm sure many of the people in this community are glad that you stayed here, making a difference and teaching young ones who wanted to enter this profession too. Our newest reporter, Cameron Riddle, who's here in studio with us, says he used to watch you. Inspiring words for those young ones that might want to follow in your footsteps.
I've seen him since he was, I saw him first when he was about 15 or 16 years old. I knew he'd be here one day.
I just say this, and you know this, that's what's great when you announce your retirement in advance. We get to make sure that you're aware of your contributions, but you have the respect of your coworkers. You have the respect of your peers in all of Indianapolis, and I think you have the respect of the TV industry around the country. And so what you did to work 40 years plus is a remarkable achievement in our business.
Very humbling.
And you showed us that words matter, and you brought those words to life, and when you talked to people, they felt your essence, and you shared their spirit. So we want to thank you again for being an amazing storyteller. Your legacy will live on here at RTV6.
Derrick, thank you. Your last words. You closed it out.
With all due respect to my bosses, I never worked for them. I worked for you, the viewer. I respected you, I trusted you, and I did my best for you. It's great. Thank you. Goodbye.